Hello, hello. Today we are going to look at ZipForms and SkySlope, and I'm going to show you the very best way to get your agency agreements signed. So your buyer agency, tenant agency, listing agreement, exclusive right to sell, exclusive right to list, how to get them signed by your clients and me as the broker to be sure that it's an efficient process, to be sure that your clients get a copy as quickly as possible, and to be sure that we reduce the workload on you guys so that it just all happens kind of automatically. So let's look really quickly. So we've got two options. When we first launched these programs, we would log into ZipForms here, right? Or ZipForm. I don't want to put the S on there because you don't want that when you're logging into the URL. ZipForm Plus, and you would come here and click New and create a new transaction, right? And then it would talk to SkySlope, and we could find it over here in SkySlope. Well, you can certainly still do that, and that functionality is still working great. However, I want to show you this as well. If you come over here to working documents, so let me come back here. This is the main page. This is what you see when you log on. You come here to working documents, then you're into personal documents, and then you come to ZipForms Plus. This tab up here is ZipForms Plus. You've got this big green button that now it works, and it's talking to ZipForms, and it's opening up and creating a transaction for you within the SkySlope platform. So just saves you a step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this green button, and I'm going to call this test in capital letters, agency agreements, and we'll sell 5501 Backlick Road, and it autofills everything for me. So now I'm going to hit create. Now, one thing you'll notice, I'm going to hit cancel on this also. You have an option if you want to add your forms. You can come to the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors. Up here between the libraries, you toggle. And you'll probably toggle between these two unless you have additional libraries for Maryland or DC. But you'll toggle between Northern Virginia, where the disclosure is, the lead-based paint is, your exclusive right to represent is, and then in the REMAX forms, you'll find your commission report and the RESPA form, right? So those are a lot of the ones that you need for your file. Now I've set up templates, so when I created this, it autofilled a lot of this stuff for me. That is another video. I can show you how to do that. But for now, let's go through and sort of look how to get this thing signed. So you've got this transaction set up. You'd come in here to exclusive right to sell agreement, and you'd fill it out, right? Now there is a little bit of a risk if I don't get this thing totally filled out that the program will not let me continue, but we're going to give it a try. I'm not going to fill this thing out completely, and I'm still going to try to get it DigiSign and see if it'll allow me to do that. X. Nope, cancel, sorry. I want to save here. And it is saved, and now I can close it. And if I come here and I click exclusive right to sell listing agreement, click DigiSign, no address yet. Since you don't have the listing yet, it's a little bit premature to put it into SkySlope, but if you wanted to, you could create the listing as well if you're 100% sure you're going to get it, and it would put this right into the property file. But in this case, it is a little bit premature to start the listing file just yet, so I'm going to click No Property, and what that means is when it comes back, when everybody's signed, it's going to be at the very top of your working documents in the personal file. So again, we can look at that in a little bit, and I'll show you where it ends up, but that's what's going to happen. So right now, in reality, what I probably would have would be my exclusive right to sell. I'd have my disclosure. I'd have my useful information. I have my RESPA. If I needed lead-based paint, I would have my lead-based paint here. But in this case, we're just looking at the agency agreement and how to get that signed by all parties. So I'm going to click Next. Now, this one autofills me. So it says Matt Cockrum here. That actually is going to be your name. So although you want me to sign it, and that's what we're talking about, this would actually say your name. So you're going to put new recipient in here, and you're going to add your seller, right? Seller number 1. And it'll be seller 1 at topdollar.com. And then select the role of seller, obviously. And then they need to sign, so you hit save. If you have another seller, you come up here. Seller number 2. Seller 2 at topdollar.com. Hit S, fills in style automatically. Needs to sign and save. And so the way we have it set up right now is the way that most of you guys are ultra familiar with. You're going to send it out to seller 1 and 2. They're going to sign it, and it's going to come back to you. I'm going to ask you to add one extra step that's going to save you lots and lots of time and is going to automatically deliver a copy of the fully executed agency agreement to your clients once I've signed it. So if you click up here, new recipient, and then you click in here, Matthew Cockerham. If I go up there, it actually does autofill for me, and it will for you as you start. So if it doesn't autofill my email address, mcockerham@remax.net, scroll down here to broker, needs to sign. Now, if you will do me the favor, right here it says order 1, so I'm going to show you what happens. Hit save, come up here and hit add signer group, and then drag me down to second. Not CC. Come on, computer. There it is. So what's going to happen is you're going to send this off. Seller 1 and Seller 2 are going to sign it, and then the program's going to send it to me for signature. I'll review everything. I'll sign it, and as soon as I've signed it, you'll get a copy, and both of the sellers will get a copy, and you'll be completely covered with respect to the delivery of the agency agreement and them having a proper copy of it. So let's hit next. We come down through here, click our initials. Initial for the seller. Now what I like to do, I don't know how if you've figured out a pattern to do this, but if I'm doing seller number 1, I come down and I put their initials all the way through this thing, all the way to the bottom, and I don't want to belabor it here. Come down here to the very bottom. Come on, Matt. Signature. And if you put your cursor about where you think the top left corner of the box is going to be, it'll drop that box right about on the line. Date signed, drop that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way back up this document. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to sign that, drop it to seller 2, date signed, boom. And then I'm going to work my way back up, putting initials where I want seller number 2 to sign. Now you get the idea. I'm skipping some of them now just for the sake of speed. And again, if you put the cursor up at the top left corner where you want the top left corner of the box to go, oops, date sign, I need to pick up initials, it'll drop the box about where you want it, and that way you don't have to move it around too much, right? Okay, so we filled out, and let's just assume we've got seller 2 everywhere we want them. So next would be me. So you want initials, broker. Okay, just for my own appearances on this first page, I'm going to put seller 2 in there, and then I'm going to put this other box here, put myself in there, and then I'm going to go through and drop the broker's initials in the broker spot all the way down to the bottom, and at the bottom, signature, date signed. And now when you send this off, it's going to go to the sellers first, then it's going to come to me, and then it's going to go right to the top of your working document. So you hit send here, type in your subject, estate agency agreement for digital signatures. Now, if you want to put a message in here, you surely can. I found that I don't really need to with my clients. They know already, they're expecting it, we've discussed it already, and then you hit send for signatures. Now I've used dummy emails, and so it's not going to go out anywhere. But let me just show you how you can track it. So send for signatures, woohoo, that was easy. And then I come here to SkySlope, the main screen. I can come into DigiSign if I want to just watch and track who's doing what, and I click send, and you can say here's my file, and it's out. It was created on this date, and as you click this little circle with the arrow, it looks kind of like a clock with the arrow, history, it'll show that the invitations were sent, and then we're just waiting on the people to do their thing, and you can tell who's done what when, and when they're finished, you can see who's signed over here. Pretty cool way to kind of track it and things like that. And then once everybody's signed, it's going to go from sent to completed, and it'll be here at the top of your completeds, and then you'll be able to access the documents by coming to working documents, and it'll be here at the top of your personal docs. It'll be just the next one right there at the top. So Hopefully this is useful. It will surely save you time. It will surely protect you because your clients will immediately, upon full execution, get a copy of the ratified agency agreement. And it's really the best way to proceed as you get those agency agreements filled out. So I'd like you to start using this process. Of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to Melody, and we'll be happy to kind of walk you through it. But this is absolutely the best way for you and for the brokerage to stay protected with respect to our agency agreements. And it serves our clients. It's very professional. They get a copy of their documentation. It is the way to operate. All right, have an awesome day. Let us know if you have questions.